Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, joined by Ben Roy Turner from WhatCulture for a late night news ahead of our live stream for WrestleMania Backlash and our reactions to that show. But let's dive straight into the stories. And the EVP of AEW, the Executive Vice President, Cody Rhodes, has been talking about AEW already looking to expand. Basically, someone on Twitter, Akash Kurup, tweeted him saying, tired of binge watching Dynamite clips on YouTube. When can we expect a live show in India? And Cody responded, that's a great question. It is my personal hope that as the show continues to grow, we can continue to expand into more markets. Bedroy, looks like Cody and AEW already looking to grow. A hell of an achievement for that.
Yeah.
I mean, still quite fledgling company.
Yeah, weren't they gonna have a show over here, this side of the pond, last year?
I think it was, yeah.
Before the global bastards came and ruined it all. So it makes sense. I just feel like with any of this, he's going to be optimistic on Twitter, but they're not going to go to. I think they'll start the major markets of wrestling, and then they'll push out because of the bastard. And it just makes sense, really. Like, there's always that rumor of the second TV show, not the 74th YouTube show that's coming around this sort of corner. But yeah, I think we're gonna do you think we're gonna get the next main TV show within a year, and then maybe by the year's end we might be lucky to get to the UK, and then who knows, the year after that they could be going around South America and anywhere from there. That's my predictions, really.
Yeah, I think you might be spot on there. Like, we talked about that other TV show quite some time. I keep offering Tony, if you want the name AEW Fuse, like you've got AEW Dynamite, just give me a proportion of the profits. That's all I want. Or just
AEW Heat.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. But I do think that's the direction they're going to go. And like you say, I think they recognize, it's particularly the British market, as maybe slightly more untapped in terms of, WWE never put shows on over here in terms of like pay-per-views, and they were going to bring Fyter Fest, as you alluded to last year.
Yeah.
So I hope that's the case. Expanding out into other markets like India, I'm sure that's a plan of theirs in the future. Whether we're going to see that in the next year or so, especially considering the ongoing global bastard, probably not. But it's exciting for AEW fans to hear that they're expanding. And also, Cody said regarding Darby Allin dropping the TNT Championship to Miro, Darby had a beautiful run, and he can take solace in the fact that the man who beat him is the most dominating heavyweight wrestler currently active. Yeah, he did batter him, Miro, to be fair. So yeah, fair point.
And we love our DMVs because we have plenty of them on this channel, and there's a strong wrestling fan base over there.
Yeah.
But we should, from one EVP to another not so EVP now, Big Don Callis. He's been double dipping for a while, hasn't he? He's been on a few wrestling shows, and news comes in from Fightful saying that he's been removed from parts of the website. Anthem's part of the website where they list the vice presidents and sort of people behind the production of the show, that. And it's not surprising to me, really. It seems like Don Callis has been in with AEW a lot recently. And I think this is almost a sneaky move. Like, you work somewhere for a bit, and then you sort of like, as soon as you can get your foot in the door somewhere else. I feel like on a global scale and like grander scale, like budgets and sort of things like that, AEW is a step up for a man like Don Callis, and I feel like maybe he's hit the ceiling in Impact, and this might be just a simple career move down the line, especially with so many friends there like Jericho and Omega. What do you think of this? Do you think Don's just gonna, now he's been removed from the Impact sort of personnel section, do you think he's gonna jump to AEW?
I think that may well be the case. I'm always a bit unsure when it comes to these sort of things, particularly with Impact. And I don't want to talk about the history of TNA and stuff and the whole pulling back the curtain. But I know even when they had the Rich Swann match, there was shots of Scott D'Amore, I believe. So maybe this is part of some bigger storyline for them. I've got to be honest, I haven't really kept up with all that side of things. But I've got to say, I mean, credit to Don Callis. If you're a fan of Impact Wrestling, he has done amazing things with the talent that he's been able to pull over. Obviously, Kenny Omega, and what was it, 9 times the buy rate for the pay-per-view when he fought Rich Swann. So clearly bringing in someone who can and do things for Impact Wrestling and get eyes on that product. And yeah, like you say, I think if he transitions just to being on AEW, that would make complete sense. If this is just all one big further, power struggle storyline, that would make sense as well. But yeah, Impact Wrestling have got a lot of things to be grateful for Don Callis, even if in kayfabe he's an unbearable bastard.
And he's bringing back the wrestling manager in a way where it seems to have watered down a bit, where a lot of the AEW wrestling managers will say kind of just stand there for a lot of the time, or maybe don't even come out sometimes. But Don is sort of a key figure, and I think he's been instrumental in helping getting Kenny to the dark side, as we would say.
Yes, exactly. What was he called? I was going to say the Forbidden Hand. I've combined about three different
door.
Yeah, there's three different AEW phrases there. Never mind. Let's talk a little bit about WrestleMania Backlash. As I said, it's happening in just a few minutes' time. Myself and Ben Roy will be doing our reactions to that, so do join us for that one. And ahead of what one would assume that is going to be the main event, the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Cesaro. Roman Reigns has taken one final shot at his challenge. Obviously, everyone's been talking about the fact this is, the first singles world championship match Cesaro's had in his WWE career. And whilst everyone else is buzzing off that, Roman Reigns just can't help but, rub his face in it a little bit, tweeting earlier on today, waited a long time to get knocked down to the bottom of the line. Hashtag WrestleMania Backlash. Hashtag acknowledge me. I have to say, Ben Roy, I loved what they did with this. I thought Roman's promo was sensational on Jimmy Uso this week. And I think this storyline has just been, one of the best things WWE is doing and has done with the overall Roman Reigns reign.
Yeah, it's just they're doing what they need to do with this Roman Reigns gimmick, right? Like, you could go and throw people in there that have faced him before. You could have Nakamura going for it. You could have Sheamus going around there. But why not put Cesaro in there? Like someone... Yeah. This has got to come from the contract negotiations, like recently as well, isn't it? But like Cesaro, as a lot of people have been saying for a lot of years, deserves a push. And I'm all here for... I mean, did we did a list of something recently, or we had an article on the website. It was like Roman Reigns had 39 championship matches at some point, and like Cesaro, I'm not sure if he's ever had like triple. He probably has, but this is his first ever singles one. This is just it's a very important one. I from here we'll sort of see. I think this is like what we're going to see, if this is going to be a constant for Cesaro, and if his style can fit the WWE sort of main event style, like, or if he's just going to swing his way to victory. I'm really intrigued, and I've enjoyed the whole Roman Reigns gimmick, and I've enjoyed this build up to this, and it's just amazing to see someone like Cesaro beat someone like Seth Rollins and then move on to the main event.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the rest of this card is, WrestleMania Backlash. It's a lot of reruns of matches from WrestleMania. I have to say that the match that has really sold me on this is Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. And I looked at the odds. I don't like doing that sort of thing. But you would assume, obviously, Roman Reigns retains here. But there's just that tiny bit of me. And that's what you need in a match like this. You believe that probably, 99 matches out of 100, Roman Reigns retains. Or maybe there's some shenanigans and he just retains and tries to move on. And maybe they have another rematch at Money in the Bank or whatever. But there's just that little bit of me, whether it's Daniel Bryan coming back because he's been banished from SmackDown, but tonight isn't SmackDown, or whatever it may be, or whether it's the whole family drama involving Jimmy Uso, maybe just costing. I don't know, but I am excited for the pay-per-view, mainly for that match. So I think they've done their job, and mad that they're acknowledging, we just haven't booked Cesaro in a world title match for like 10 odd years or whatever. They're selling that as like, he's finally achieved it. He's been there, he's been capable of doing it for 10 years probably, but we've got here in the end at least.
Yeah, and it's just good, man. It's just good to see someone who sort of like at least deserves the shot. Get it. And let's just transition to our last news story, a nice quick one. People have been comparing Ricky Starks to The Rock, right? And you could probably see that sometimes, but he's whittled it down to in a quote I'm going to read here. That's so crazy though, because he finds that he's just being compared because of like the clothes that he's wearing, and he says anyone can dress nice, like he throughout his tours in Japan he dressed nice, he wore flashy shirts, and it's like the borderline level reductiveness of like comparing him, you wear the same clothes, or maybe like say someone's like, if you call John Moxley the next Stone Cold because he comes out and beats a bunch of people up or something like that. But Ricky Starks, he didn't shoot this down, but more just said, look, we both dress nice, okay? I dress a bit out there, outrageous, and you can see what the comparisons between when The Rock was wearing a new shirt every appearance back in that late 90s, early 2000s run. So yeah, Ricky Starks just sort of like batting that away, and I personally don't really see they're both great promos, but they feel so different to me. What do you think here? Do you think it's just down to the shirts like he thinks?
I've got a borderline obsession with Ricky Starks. It's unhealthy. He's an absolute piece. And like you say, I can see where he's coming from. Like, just because someone's handsome, wears nice clothes, and is a good promo doesn't automatically mean that they have to be compared to The Rock. I mean, MJF, for his abilities on promos, gets compared to The Rock as well. Do you know what I like about this? And I have to say, the loss of Ricky Starks for me was a huge, huge blow for AEW, because I think he's going to be a major star for them in the next 5 years. He's going to be a world champion in my book, without question, just like MJF. What I like about this is, and just like MJF, not to keep bringing him into this conversation, but he is one of my best friends, so that does make sense, is the fact that he doesn't just fawn over, I've been compared to The Rock, he's the greatest. He's just like, what? He wore nice clothes, I wear nice clothes.
Yeah.
So, I can see the comparisons, I've got to be honest, and I don't think it's actually too hyperbolic to compare him to The Rock. Very exciting to see where he goes. Obviously, this injury's a real shame, but that would hopefully mean that when he does return, and hopefully you would assume fans will be back by the time he returns, it is going to be a big, big deal for AEW, and maybe there's more spaces for him further up the card, because obviously they book more long-term, it seems, in AEW, so there may be world title opportunities coming his way, and very excited to see where he goes, but I don't think this is the last time we're going to hear comparisons between Ricky Starks and The Rock. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts, all the fallout from WrestleMania Backlash to appear on there later on, of course. And join myself and Ben Roy for our WrestleMania Backlash live stream reactions in, probably a few minutes' time. Let us know your thoughts as well on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch, they can follow both of us. You can follow Ben Roy at
Ben Roy Turner.
Yeah, you can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. But for now, my thanks to Ben Roy. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Good night.